guys, welcome back to A3's video series, Safe and Secure. My name is Alexis.
And I'm Kevin.
How you doing, Kevin?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in there. We are going into who knows what month, and we're just trying to stick it out and stay strong at A3.
It's amazing how everything just kind of blurs together during these times, right?
Who even knows what month or day it is? I don't even remember the feeling of putting on real clothes and waking up to go into an office setting.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's instead of the what's the saying for a mullet, business up front, party in the back, and now for coronavirus, it's business up top, comfortable on the bottom.
Oh yeah, I stay in pajamas for sure, for sure. So on this episode, you spoke to the Director of Industry Associations, James Marcella, over at Access Communication about, what programs and what practices they're using to educate end users. So tell me.
Yeah, Access is one of the largest camera manufacturers in the world. They have a bunch of resources for end users and integrators. They do a lot of thought leadership. James and I both serve on the Partner Alliance for Safer Schools steering committee. Mm-hmm. So they are heavily involved in keeping the pulse on new technology and regulations and legislation. Just a wealth of knowledge, James is, as well as the whole Access Communications manufacturer.
Yeah, they are definitely a leading manufacturer for sure. So I am very excited about this episode. And without further ado, here is Safe and Secure with James Marcella.
James Marcella, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Kevin. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being with us. For everybody that's watching, tell us a little bit about you and what all you do with Access.
Sure. So my role at Access really stems from a variety of positions that I've held over the last 24 years. I started in 1997, and I helped develop and manage the Application Developer Partner Program, our educational services program, and I managed our technical services group for about 14 years. All of that experience helped lead to where I'm at today, which is running our industry association program. And that program is really about driving education initiatives, developing standards and guidelines, as well as advocating for technology solutions. So, at Access, we really believe that when we're working with either end users, partners, or anyone in the security ecosystem, when we're dealing with an informed, educated, and professional customer or partner, we all win.
Yeah, I think Access has done a phenomenal job of educating the end user and setting those standards in the security world, especially where oftentimes we're lacking those kind of standards. We don't have security standards like we've got fire life safety standards. Right, so exactly. I appreciate you. Yep. So I appreciate what you guys are doing in that world.
Well, you're doing it too, Kevin. I mean, the past K-12 guidelines. I mean, we're on that together. So
yeah,
it's a great example of physical security in the K-12 environment. And you're right. We do need to look at ways that we can not necessarily just standardize, but guide the security industry and best practices and how to leverage this technology to keep people safe.
Yeah, you brought up PASS, and we'll talk about some other things, but I think that's the one thing I love about PASS is it takes all the different people in the industry and brings them together regardless of, you may have a competitor or you may have another interest, but yet everybody comes together for that one common purpose and goal, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So James, in your new role with industries, what kind of trends or things are you seeing out there?
Well, I dropped my crystal ball back in high school, but in my role with industry associations, I'm able to talk to a lot of really bright people, leverage different industry research and see what's going on out there. So I'm specifically going to look at two different associations that I work very closely with. Security Industry Association is one of those. Every year they put out a megatrends document, which really looks at the top 10 trends in the industry. The other organization, ASIS International, back in 2018, they did a report called Scouting the Future. And in that, they recognized 7 different change drivers. And both of those 2 different organizations, there was obviously a lot of similarities in those two reports. But the one that I really want to focus on today, which I really feel end users need to be cognizant of, is this idea that we want to move from a reactive approach to security to a more proactive security posture. And so when I'm talking about that, SIA, or the Security Industry Association, identified AI, and ASIS had a change driver called a predictive world. So really what I'm talking about, without getting into the weeds of it all, is analytics, and specifically video analytics based on our background here at Axis.
But Axis also has sound, right? So you've got some sound analytics as well as your video, correct?
Yeah, audio analytics obviously is another big area. Axis's approach to analytics really looks at 2 different methods to market. One is our ACAP program, and that's the Axis Camera Application Program. This basically is a host of third-party software developers who have written analytics that reside directly on our cameras. And then there's also Axis branded analytics. When you mentioned sound before or audio, Sound Intelligence is an example of an ACAP partner who wrote an application to detect aggressive voices, gunshot, a variety of other acoustic patterns that can be recognized at the edge to alert someone that, proactively you might want to take a look at this camera or look at that general area.
Yeah, on a previous version of this, we interviewed Derek with Sound Intelligence, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I have seen or maybe even participated in a conference session or 2 around that exact subject. But
yeah, I think we have a history there, don't we, Kevin?
Absolutely.
So with our branded analytics, Axis really looks at three areas. We have business analytics, which really is about bottom line and is primarily focused on retail applications. We also have security analytics, and this is where I think the vast majority of the folks that'll be listening to this are really going to be looking at. And we have the largest number of analytics from Axis in that category. And then we also have transportation analytics. And I expect that in the future, you'll see other categories from us. But really, it's about leveraging technology to help security practitioners make more informed decisions and provide better situational awareness and ultimately improve outcomes.
One of the great things I love about you guys is the openness of you and the fact that there are multiple video management softwares, multiple analytics that all can be used on your cameras, that you guys are so open source with all that. So definitely appreciate it. Where would someone go to find out more information about the analytics that you guys offer?
About our analytics specifically, obviously our website is probably the best place to go. You'll also be able to find all of the different partner analytics that have written support for the Axis products on our website as well. And if you want to learn more about all the different trends that are going on our industry, I certainly recommend you to go to Security Industry Association's website. You can download that Megatrends report that I talked about if you're a member. And on the ASIS International's website, go to there, do a search on change driver, and you'll get to see the 7 different change drivers that are there. Really 2 really strong organizations, great with a lot of good information that can help you.
Gotcha. That's fantastic. Hey, I would be remiss if I did not ask the industry expert who's been in this for a lot of years. I've been questioned recently by some by some newer people to the field, almost straight out of college, first job, and they've asked me, do I go get my master's degree or do I go get a certification? And if so, what would that be? So I guess I'll ask you, in your early days, what's something you wish you would have done or had in place, or some kind of advice you would give these young professionals?
Well, it's interesting. In our market, most of the people that are in the security industry never intended to be in the security industry. You're a rare breed, Kevin. You've been protecting people since you were in high school, if I remember correctly.
15,
Yeah, a hall monitor or security guard, whatever it was. A lot of us didn't intend to get into this industry. We kind of made our way here, and a lot of us stay in this industry based on, the fact that, we're doing something important. We are making a difference. We are helping people, and that's really our motives and intent. New people who are looking into this industry, I think for the first time, there's actually programs out there. There's college degree programs for physical security. But from an association perspective, there's also a lot of different certifications. One of the things that I would absolutely recommend is that people also focus on IT. Everything from a technology perspective has moved to the network, and you really need to have at least a background in IT or some level of IT cognizance before coming into this industry. That's almost true for any industry. But ASIS has some really great certifications on the security practitioner side. APP for beginners, the PSP and CPP as you more advance in your career. At SIA, there's a project management, CSPM, Certified Project Security Manager certification. So if you're on the integration side, for instance, that could be a good avenue to go down. But it's good to see that our industry is really looking at workforce development and is actually partnering with different education institutions to make that happen.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate your time, brother. It's always fun to see you.
It's great to see you too, Kevin. Thank you. I really had a fun time with this today.
Thanks.